So if your back's really, really, really sore, I'm going to go through like the super basic stuff all the way through to the stuff that's a little bit more movement based. So laying on your belly. Don't mind me in my little cozy studio. Feet together if you can, or slightly apart. Think about lengthening your legs, elbows out to the side, and as you rest your head down, make it really, really smooth and long, stretching out. And just take about 5 breaths there. And what you want to feel is your body relax into the ground. What you also want to do is think about your lower back lengthening here. So keep your head down after you've watched this and have a go. So you want to think about lengthening your lower back. What that means is you want to think about if you had a happy dog's tail, you're going to make it unhappy. So you're going to tuck your tail underneath your legs, which will make your lower belly feel a little bit lifted. See, I can slide my hand through underneath my tummy just a little bit here. Notice my chest hasn't changed, all right? So I should be able to relax your butt cheeks, and you'll feel your back feeling quite short. Your lower back will feel really quite compressed. And what you want to do now is if you lift up through your belly, lower belly, tuck your tail, unhappy dog's tail, that will give your lower back a sense of length. It should give you a bit of relief there. So you just lay here, breathing, giving your bum a squeeze, lifting your belly, lengthening your spine by dropping your tail down like an unhappy dog's tail. And you want to be able to try and breathe while you have your belly lifted and your bum squeezed in that position. You also want to think about pressing your pubic bone down into the mat. That will also help drop your tailbone under and lift your belly up. So pubic bone down, belly lift, tail under, and breathe. The other thing we can do is bring your hands to your shoulders, press back onto your feet. Let's go into a cat-cow stretch. So your knees are hip width apart, not too wide, not too close together. So hip width apart, okay? And you also want to make sure your knees are directly underneath your hips. I'll face this way. Hands directly underneath your shoulders as opposed to being out here or underneath you. You're going to have your elbows straight as well. Keep an eye on your elbows. They might bend without you realizing. You also want to make sure your weight is slightly forward rather than with your bum near your heels. So lean forward a little bit there, all right? So hopefully you can still see my shape properly with a baggy t-shirt on. All right, so press down through your hands into the floor and press your knees down into the ground. By doing that, stretching your arms, tuck your tail, tuck your chin into your chest, really scoop your belly up. And then reverse, eyes to the sky, bum to the sky. And make sure your shoulders still stay away from your ears. Good. Press through your belly up, hands, knees down. Some people know this as happy cat, angry cat. Or I call it sunken bridge and rainbows for the kids. And then you can do sexy cat, which is wriggling side to side, just gently rocking the hips back towards your ankles. Checking to see how that feels for you. If you don't have a lot of pain, this will feel quite nice. See how far down you can go into a seated position. Leaning to the outside edge of each foot. Take your time. Stay there for a sec if you want. Scoop up through your belly. Press through your shins to come back, as opposed to using your lower back to get up. Okay? From there, you can do a child's pose. I'm coming back. Can you see me? Just tuck it in my top so you can actually see what's going on. So child's pose, knees wide where you feel comfortable, sitting on your feet. Have your feet flat instead of having their toes tucked. Although that is a nice foot stretch, we'll do that another time. So foot flat. Gently creep your hands out, especially if you're feeling quite sore and tired. Just gently let yourself out. And stay here for a couple breaths. Instead of letting your belly dump down to the mat and just collapse into the floor, so like a pregnant belly down, what you want to think about is a lifted belly, so your spine is supported from the front end of your body, all right? So belly lifted and think long, stretched out spine. reaching your fingers out, sending your tailbone out. Gently lift your head up, walk your hands to the left one side, and then other hand reaches over the top. This is going to give you a really nice side body stretch and stretch out through your lower back on one side. What you want to do is think about the side that you're stretching. This is my right side, even though I've got reverse camera on. This hip wants to stretch away from where I'm reaching. So think opposite direction, tug of war. So drop your right butt cheek down as your right arm reaches out long. Really breathe through this. Stretch as far as you feel safe and comfortable to do so. And then gently bring your elbows back in. Swap over to the other side. I've got to move over a bit. And reach across. Left hand away. Left hip pulls down. Lengthen through the side. It's a really, really nice stretch. All right, from there, let's try and do some glute stretches. So you can sit on your bum first, see how this goes. Hands can go back. Place one foot over your opposite knee. So for some of you, this might be all you need to do. And instead of collapsing back into your lower back, curving, what you want to do is lift up your chest and make your spine as tall as you can. All right, so lift up tall. Push through your hands to support yourself. And the minute you rock your pelvis from tilting back to tilting forwards, you're going to feel a stretch in your butt cheek. Think about the knee that's bent over. Push that away from you. And your ankle on the supporting leg is anchoring you in the stretch. So you want to make sure that that leg is nice and stable. You can also gently draw, this is a really good one, draw your leg all the way across. Not all the way, as far as it feels good, and come back. And breathe through this, big breath in and out. You're going to think about this side of your glutes really opening up. A lot of the time, lazy glutes or overactive glutes are responsible for sore lower backs and knees. This feels so good. And you can swap sides. Notice if one side feels more tight, better, worse, same than the other. Again, you're not slouching, sitting up as much as you can. I'm pretty flexible, so I know that my legs might be a bit more pretzeled than yours. If you are less flexy, you can give yourself a bit more space by lengthening out your bottom leg, okay? But for now, I keep it the same as the other side. You choose where this leg goes. Up tall, anchoring your supporting leg firmly into the ground, and your top knee, the one that's bent across, you want to think about reaching that away from your body. And now, of course, the supporting leg can just tip over and away, increasing the stretch on the outside of your butt cheek on the leg that's lifted up and across. Feels good. Just check in with your back, knees, hips, how this is all feeling. Better, worse, or same as you move. Another way you can do this stretch is with one leg crossed out. You can either link it over your ankle, come up a little bit higher. Don't rest on top of your knee, but maybe above your knee. And then lift up really tall through your spine. And then think belly button reaches out and over past your crossed over leg, chest shining towards your toes. This is going to give you a hamstring stretch. If your hammies are tighter than your glutes on this crossed over leg, if you want to make it stronger for the crossed over, you just bring this little leg, big leg, whatever leg, up and over, and then you'll get double, butt cheek stretch and hamstring stretch. So butt cheek on the other side. And just breathe. Try and relax into the stretch. If you want more, flex your toes up on your stretched out leg. This feels gross, but really good. And if you do only have your ankle on your thigh, this will give you a good massage. The bony bits on your ankle are like a trigger point massage. Feels quite good as well. Let's swap sides. Lengthen that straight leg, crossing leg over, Sitting up as tall as you can before you decide to cross this leg over even more. Make sure your position in your hips is nice and square. Big breath in. And maybe just reach forward for a hamstring stretch. Keep it balanced as the other side is what we did then. And crossing over for a deeper stretch if you want to keep going. That way you're going to get stretching the bum and stretching your hamstring on the leg out in front. Breathe. Try not to collapse in your chest because then you're going to miss out on the hip stretch. Lift the chest up and reach forward. I feel that straight away in here. If I hunch over, I miss this altogether. So it's not about how far you can reach for your toes. It's about enabling the position in your upper body to stay extended and long so you can get the stretch in your butt cheek. Flex the toes if you can. Big breath in. Big breath out. Another way you can do this stretch is your figure 4 stretch laying down. So I'll turn this way so you can see. You're going to put the same one leg crossing over the other, same as before, except now your hands will be the anchoring, pulling tool. And if you just bring your legs in, you're going to get an inner thigh stretch as well, maybe. But what you want to do is think about flattening your back down onto the floor. Really flatten it. Now, with your hands through underneath the thigh, you're going to pull that leg in, but also with the elbow that's closest to the camera now, I'm going to push